In a cave in southern France, archaeologists found a piece of antler carved into a hook. It's not a weapon, not by itself. It's a lever, and it turned a decent hunting tool into something closer to a machine gun. Here's the idea. Throw a spear with your bare arm, and you're limited by the length of that arm. A few meters of leverage. That's it. Enough to hunt sometimes. Not enough to hunt safely. Now attach the spear to a stick with a hook or a cup at one end that holds the base of the spear in place. Suddenly your arm isn't a few meters long anymore. It's effectively twice that. The spear leaves the hook later in the throw, at a higher point in the arc, moving faster than a bare arm could ever make it move. This is the atlatl, a spear thrower, possibly the first machine humans ever built for the sole purpose of making violence more efficient. The oldest confirmed examples come from French sites like Combe-Saunière and Le Placard, carved from reindeer antler, dated to roughly 17,000 years ago. But here's the thing. An atlatl doesn't have to survive to have existed. It can be a plain wooden stick with almost no distinguishing features. Most of them probably rotted away completely, the same as almost everything else organic from this period. The carved, decorated ones we found are likely just the fraction that happened to be made from something durable enough to last, so the real number could be much older. Some researchers argue for tens of thousands of years earlier, based on wound patterns on animal bones that look like they came from something faster and harder hitting than a hand-thrown spear. That argument isn't settled. It probably never fully will be. What we do know is the physics, because you can test it today. A skilled thrower with an atlatl can launch a dart at speeds that rival a thrown baseball, over distances a bare-armed throw can't approach. Modern experimental archaeologists using replica atlatls have clocked darts moving fast enough and hitting hard enough to punch clean through the kind of hide a mammoth or a bison would have had. That number matters, because on the mammoth steppe, at the coldest point of the last ice age, the animals worth hunting were enormous, and being close to them was the dangerous part. A spear thrower changes that equation completely. You don't need to get within stabbing range of 6 tons of animal anymore. You can hit it from far enough away to run if it comes for you. This is not a small tactical improvement. This is the difference between hunting an animal and being in a fight with one. The atlatl spread widely, across Europe, across Siberia, into the Americas, carried by the same people who were crossing Beringia around the same period. In Australia, a version of it, the Wimmera, is still made and used by Aboriginal communities today, essentially unchanged, tens of thousands of years later. Eventually, in most places, it was replaced. The bow and arrow does a similar job with a different mechanism, and it edges the atlatl out in accuracy and portability over the following millennia. But that replacement took thousands of years, and it never happened everywhere. Aztec warriors were still using the atlatl. They're called the atlatl in their own language when Spanish soldiers arrived in the 16th century, and by their accounts, it was not a primitive weapon to be underestimated. Nobody knows who carved that first hook into a piece of antler in a French cave. Nobody knows if it was even the first one ever made, or just the first one that happened to survive. What we know is what it did. It took the oldest weapon humans had, and it made it fast enough and safe enough to hunt the largest animals that have ever lived.